Hey Kings and Queens, super excited. We're doing things differently this time around. Wanted to show you guys our new setup and to talking about an amazing topic is money evil. So without further ado, let's do the countdown now. Yes. Welcome, Kings and Queens. Welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about is money evil? Super excited. Thank you, Coach Rich P, for giving that amazing insight. No. So he's already on the right track. I want to see how many other people have the same perspective. Like, do you think money is evil? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's helpful? Because I believe that this is a topic we need to talk about as entrepreneurs, as authors, as creators, as coaches, because I feel the truth is, the more you understand how money is, what it really is, and how it works, is the better it is. The Melanized Comics, thank you so much for joining. And I'm super excited because today we're doing things differently. Now, usually, if you've ever been to my lives on IG, I'm generally just in front of the screen, but I believe that the best thing you can do is to share the truth with as many people as possible. Let them know what you're doing and expand your platform. So I found out this amazing new feature with StreamYard where you can do multi-stream to Instagram as well as Facebook and YouTube. So we're doing three tonight. Happy hippies, thank you so much for joining. Melanized Comics says money is a tool and good day. Thank you so much, King. Another person on the right path. That's 2 for 2 right now. I'm super excited to hear what your other opinion is. So leave it in the comments below, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. Leave it in the comments below. Let us know, is money evil or is it good? Because I feel that this is a big topic we need to talk about. Okay, so what is money? Well, money, just like currency, it's a tool, it's a system. And for anyone who doesn't know, if you're new to the live, if you're new to this channel, my name is Euwarnii Hughes. I'm the CEO of Great Gale, the Manga Cup Afrofuturism manga series Bold Saga. We got 4 books out right now, as well as the author of 7 Steps to Creating a Dream manga series. And all these are books that we created, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without people investing into us, seeing the value of what we do, and money. I truly believe that the more we understand what money is, how it's used, and how we can use it for our benefit, that's how we win. Because I was listening to Fantasia, she had an interview on Breakfast Club a while ago. It just happened last time I was watching the replay. And the fascinating thing is she was talking about kings and queens, women has to submit, there needs to be order, there's like societal issues. But then the one thing that she said, I was like, wait a minute. Did she really say that? And I listened to it again. I was like, she really said that. She was like, yeah, so much craziness happens in businesses and all this other stuff. And then she said, yeah, because money is the root of all evil. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, because I feel that people get this misconception about money where they think that money is just evil and money is dirty. And you've heard, maybe you haven't heard, but there's so many articles that they talk about, like money itself is a dirty substance. People use the bathroom, they touch it, so it's physically dirty and it's physically disgusting, all these other things. So it's very fascinating, but I feel that these are just metrics that and just ways that people talk about money so that the people at the top keep more and the people at the bottom keep less. So a fascinating thing someone once told me is that money flows from the unskilled to the skilled hands. So what does that mean? If you don't know how to do something, you'll pay someone to do it. So that's literally how money works. See, money is a tool. Money is a source of value. It's it's a way that you can be able to buy and sell products. It's an asset. It's something that's very valuable. And I feel that in order to be successful as an author, one of the metrics of success as an author is money. And there's 2 things that you have to consider. There's money and there's wealth. Money allows you to attain wealth, but when you truly are wealthy, it's beyond money. Wealth is assets. Money is used to buy assets, which allow you to access wealth. So that's why I challenge everyone, if you're interested in making a book is an asset. And a book can help you gain wealth. A book, when you make it once, you can sell it over and over and over again. And as an author, you need to have money available to be able to buy your books, be able to pay for your system. Super X333, thank you so much for joining, King. Yeah, like you really do need money. I don't know where people have this weird mentality that Poverty is piety and wealth is wickedness. That's from Dr. Golden. Where did we get this mentality that having money is an evil thing? And where did we get this mentality that being poor and, a starving artist is a good thing? I'm tired of this foolishness. And I feel that the reason why this needs to be discussed is that there's only three businesses in life: wealth, health, wealth, and relationships. And without wealth, which is money, you're not going to be able to get there. I mean, yes, wealth is bigger than money, but one of the things that helps you get there is the ability to have it. So, what can we do about money? What can we do about wealth? What can we do about these mentalities? Well, we have to talk about them, we have to challenge them. And I feel that the real truth of the matter is this. So, let me get it ready right now. Present. All right, share screen. And just let me see, window. There it is right there. So let me know if you can see this on your end, kings and queens, because I feel that this is what we're going to be talking about for a bit. So is money evil? So there's me, there's the money sign, all the other stuff. Okay. So is money evil? All right. Well, the reality is that a lot of people mistake the fact, you've heard it many times, money is the root of all evil. Here's what the word really says. 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And I'll zoom in closer so that you can see it. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And I'll put in the Amplified in case you don't like the thee, thine, and thus of King James Version. For the love of money is the root of all evils. It is through this craving that some have been led astray and have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves through with many acute mental pangs. But it's deeper than that, because it's not just all evils in the aspect that everyone that ever does anything evil is doing it for money. It's not the case. It's not all types, all forms, all fashions. It's context. And the thing is, the more that you spend time studying the context, the more you understand how this thing truly plays out. Because if money truly was the root of all evil, then when the devil, Satan, when he came in the beginning and he, lied to Eve and got Adam and Eve to sin, was he paid? Like, did he get a bag for that? Did he get like millions for that or billions? Like, there was no monetary exchange. Who would have paid him? Another thing, when Cain killed his brother Abel, was that for money? Like, who paid him? No one. So what does that tell you? It tells you that we need to unlearn these old mentalities and relearn the truth. The truth is that you're going to need money if you want to be successful. I heard even Vusi Tambekweo talk about this. Like, it's so bizarre that the people at the top who are part of Satan's kingdom have so much wealth and then spend so much time making it look like if you want to be good, if you want to do good, you can't do it with money. You have to do it without money, which is a lie. Think about it. Watch this. Why is it so many movies? Official Brooklyn Studio Dome, thank you so much for joining. Watch this. Why is it so many movies, especially Marvel movies, have the hero as an orphan, or they're poor, or they're lacking, or they're just like nobody, and the hero is a business owner, a wealthy magnate, some type of successful person? Isn't that very fascinating? That's why one of my favorite lines from Iron Man 1 is, "Oh, Tony, you think just because you have an idea it belongs to you." The business people know this. They know that at the end of the day, if you have an idea but you don't protect it, it's ours now because we have the money and the insight to take advantage of it. Evil people use money for evil. Melanite Comics is 1,000% correct. Evil people really do use money for evil. So that's why we as kings and queens have to gain more money, gain more wealth, and be able to spread our message, spread our truth so we can change the narrative. I don't believe we need to keep telling people money is evil. I believe we need to start telling people to make more money and then use that money for good. Don't just talk about the evils of it, because again, Vusi Tombekweo said it. If you demonize something, you will never achieve it. Again, if you demonize something, you will never achieve it. You'll never become wealthy if you think wealth is evil. You'll never have money if you think money is evil. So these are the type of mentalities that we have to change. We have to switch up, because at the end of the day, if you want to make your own books, you got to pay the people that are printing your book. You've got to pay for the ability to go to events to showcase your book, you've got to pay for ads, for marketing, all these different things. All that takes money. And if you have the mentality that money is evil, you will always be your biggest enemy. 313 Snake, thank you so much for joining. You remember Naruto, or Naruto had to go into the waterfall and fight himself? Yeah, that's going to be you. Every time you say money is evil, money is the root of all evil, unlearn all this foolishness people talk about. Look at the truth. The truth is in the word. It literally just said that. It was 1 Timothy 6:10. Again, the reality is this. I'll even share it on the screen for those who are joining live who may have missed it. All right, so share screen. Here we go. And there it is. Okay. Okay, then. Here it is right here. Share. Again, for the love of money is the root of all evil. That's the reality. Too many people love money, want to use it for evil, but using it as a tool, that's the goal. Use it as a tool. So, person who I heard say it so well was Dr. Goldman. He was love the people, use the money. Don't love the money and use the people. And that's the switch. Evil people love the money and use the people. People that want to do good, they actually love the people and use the money. It's one of the reasons why you support and invest into authors. Like literally just, what was it? Today I was shouting a craze Kai. I already bought Melonite's comics. You know, when I went to Virtuous Con, I buy other people's comics. You know, I find ways that I can network with and talk with people. I literally have a self-publishing goldmine coaching program. We just hit week 4 this week. So again, I'm telling you, the reality is this: it's the love of money. That's the problem. Don't just love the money, use it. It's a tool, because at the end of the day, it's just numbers. Don't let these numbers ruin your life. Again, for the love of money is the root of all evils. It is through this craving that some have been led astray and have wandered from the faith and have pierced themselves through with many acute mental pangs. So that's one level. The next level is, why do people do these types of things? So the way I see it is that if someone can make money off of someone else and profit in a weird way, it for some reason fulfills them. I don't know why that's the case, but I'll give you an example. Simply put, people not, because I've talked about with Super X333 about this. If you have your own AI system and you feed it your own art, you know, you're doing something to help you sustain your time and use your time wisely. I understand that. That's efficiency, that's effectiveness. But when you look at these major companies, these major corporations, Anthropic, Bing, Adobe, OpenAI, that have literally like scoured the internet through the Lion 5B database and just data laundered it, taken all that data and then use that to make AI generative art. That's literally for the love of money. That's the love of money. Why do I say that? Key point. These people, there was an article that talked about this. The company, as well as the shareholders, knew that if they had to pay all of the artists their worth, pay them for actually using their information, pay them for actually using their art, they would literally be broke. They would literally be broke. All the other said, Super X333 said Adobe didn't do that. All the others did, though. I understand that, and I appreciate that aspect. So Adobe, from what Super X333 is saying, is that Adobe actually talked to their people about the licensing, and instead of just taking the information, they literally gave them the option and paid them. I've also heard people say that on another end, they didn't like how Adobe went about it because they felt that it was at the last second and other aspects as well. So it's a case by case for different businesses, but the grand scheme of the story is this. We're living in an age now where if you don't protect your work, people are going to use it. And if people are going to use it for profit, remember what I mentioned before, money goes from the unskilled to the skilled hands. Adobe uses own stock photos that they own the rights to. Exactly. See, what's happening is that Adobe used the stock photos that they own the rights to. And some people have the perception that if they put it on Adobe, just like people that have put their images online and Instagram and all these other companies, because Meta has Imagine. Where do you think Meta Imagine took its photos from? It took it from its platform. See, the thing that people don't tell people enough about is that if something is free, you are the product. All right? That's how business people think. If something is free, you are the product. So people have made their livelihoods making tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers and get sponsorship deals on social media because they put all their art online. Well, let me let you know, without a copyright, without a trademark, you don't really own anything. When you're creating your art, it's just being put online. So this is why I challenge you. And this is the whole reason why I wrote this book, 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream Manga Series. Again, how anyone can create their dream manga series while saving thousands of dollars and years of time. Because there's a world that really does see this as using money for evil. And I would rather you understand how to gain money, wealth, success through your own books so that you don't have to be stuck and stressed out with all the other issues, because it's going to keep happening. Meta is doing it. Adobe has their own version. Bing has their own version. This whole wealth visuals, thank you so much for joining, King. More companies are going to come up with more generative tools that are based on other people's products, and it's going to become more and more and more and more and more pervasive. So I'm letting you know, kings and queens, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it in terms of protecting your IP, in terms of actually creating your own actual work and in protecting it. Another reason I mentioned is money the root of all evil. I was discussing with people earlier, and we were talking about AI art. We're talking about, they're talking about all the pros. I'm bringing up the cons, because any discussion I go into, generally speaking, if we're talking about AI, I talk about the negative as well as the positive, because an African proverb says you don't want to test the depth of a river with both feet. You don't test with one. So you want to know both sides of the coin so that you're not getting played. So in the discussion, I'm not going to go through all of it, but one thing that stood out to me was that people were saying, yeah, because I brought up the negative side of using all the AI, the copyright infringement, the fact that you don't own it, there's no commercial value. So why are you even doing it in the first place? Why would you even try to use it commercially? Again, people don't understand the systems of how it works. Yes, there's transformative works, but people don't understand how this thing truly works. Long story short, they mentioned that, yeah, people have different answers for the pros and the cons. But at the end of the day, I'm in another AI group, and I heard that someone made 13, 12, 10, some X over basically 5 figures, right? And they were doing it through some type of company. Maybe, what was it, Shopify or Wix or something like that. The long story short is this. People are so excited to get 13,000 and just get, pennies. That's basically, you're starting off. You're getting money right now, but the bigger picture, that is the thing that people need to be thinking about. The bigger picture. Like, okay, I got paid today off of using someone else's work that I didn't get paid for. That's not mine. What is the long-term negative of this? Like an ant thinks winter all summer and summer all winter. Team Awesome 418 Poems, thank you so much for joining. You need to be thinking big picture, all right? Because at the end of the day, Anthropic literally said, if you use the technology, the generative AI or technology, they literally said you're on your own if you use it for commercial reasons. Because at the end of the day, they know that they have, and if you don't know, I'm gonna give you some sauce right now. This is what I teach in my coaching as well as in how to beat AI art, the masterclass. You need to go to haveibeentrained.com. You need to look up what's inside of these databases and look how many copyrighted, trademarked, intellectual properties are in there. I'm talking about Mickey Mouse, all right? If the mouse is in there, you really got to be careful. I'm talking about Disney princesses. I'm talking about Iron Man, Marvel, Star Wars, anime, Shonen Jump. Like, it's billions of Pokemon. These are $100+ billion media franchises. All right. Do you really want to be creating art with their intellectual properties in there? All right. There's a lot of class action lawsuits against these companies. There are a lot of there's so much going on with this situation. Even the fact that the Hollywood strike just recently ended, and one of the issues that they were having was about AI in terms of in the writers' room and the AI writing the scripts, as well as, which is crazy, the digital doubles, the digital duplicates. Like, you're an actor and they make a digital duplicate, and the corporation wants to use that digital duplicate forever without paying you royalties. This is going to become a very interesting next couple of years. So I challenge you, kings and queens, learn how to make more money by creating your own assets so you don't have to go through all the stress. It's sad when you hear people like Taraji P. Henson who are making millions with movies, and then they're basically thinking about quitting and giving up because people at the top know how the system works. And then when you have to pay off all the people, by the end, you're literally left with pennies. It's the sad part. It's like the 80-20 principles, Pareto's principle. And the saddest part is we spend so much time focusing on the 80% of things that don't provide us wealth, and then we skip out on the 20% that do. Oh my God. Like, I'm literally telling you this because it's something that helped me. You need to look up the Pareto principle. You need to look up books like 10x is easier than 2x by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. You need to elevate your mindset so that you realize you want to make a 10x jump. That's the whole reason we're talking about, is money evil? Too many times people are focused on the evils of money because they're doing 2x jumps. They're saying, okay, I have 2 jobs, let me do 3. I have 3 jobs, let me do 4. Let me just work harder, 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 harder. Now, sometimes you may have to do this, all right, to make ends meet. I understand. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the bigger picture, all right? The bigger picture, you have to realize that The inflation is happening. So many issues are happening. You have to find a way to make more money faster. What do I mean by that? You work a job, you're working, then get paid. You work a job, you're working, then get paid. If you have an asset, such as a book, like the Melanites, they've got the book. If you've got like a subscription platform like Super X33 does with their Selflix.tv, you can get people to subscribe, and then you can get monthly recurring revenue, and then you can get people to pay you over and over and over and over again by you providing value. See, money is truly just when you're paying someone and when you're getting paid, it's an exchange of value. So the reality is that if you want to make more money, you've got to provide higher value. If a pilot is flying for 8 hours and a janitor is working for 8 hours, you can drastically see who's going to be paid more. Even no matter where the janitor is, let's just say a school janitor, for all intents and purposes, a school janitor is literally working for 8 hours, and a pilot is flying from, let's say, here to Antigua or here to Haiti or here to Guyana or Zimbabwe, some other part of the world. 8 hours. They're both working the same amount of time. But why is the pilot getting paid so much more than the actual janitor? It's because of the value that is being provided. So what you want to do if you want to make more money, learn to communicate better, learn to think differently, and learn to provide higher levels of value. It's why I got into coaching, because courses are great, books are great, but you have to provide the next level for transformation. The more you can help people transform their lives, is the better they're going to be, the better off they're going to be. And it's just the better it is in general. I'm not afraid to say that the coaching program is $5K. The reason why is because it costs up to $20,000 to create your own book cover to cover. I'm telling you, like, this is high level skills. We show you how to make your own book cover to cover. Why did we do that? Many other people say there is no path. Many other people say there is no way. I would refute that there is a path, there is a way, and this is just one of those paths and one of those ways that you can make your first book. Melanite said, "Jobs pay for your time based off of value." I'm telling you, it's such a crazy thing. And Dr. Golden explained it so well in one of his books. When you work a job, right? And generally speaking, the employer knows this as well. Whatever you're getting paid, they've made 5 to 10x, between 5 to 8 or even 10x more. So you're literally giving and selling a bunch of your time, right, for a little bit of someone else's money. Because remember what I just mentioned, they're making more. So you're working these jobs, different things like that, and then look, the employer, the boss is going on quarterly retreats, quarterly vacations, all these other things. So you have to start thinking like the employer. That's why I posted in one of my other account, my personal account, personal brand account. It's literally all about that value exchange. Like Lecrae has a song called Switch It Up. I was a worker, had to upgrade to a boss. I had to switch it up, So you have to switch it up. If things are going the way how they continue to go, like when they showed in a news article that the cost of groceries in 1990 was like $19.90, basically for like getting a good amount of groceries. And then today in 2023, it's $72 plus. Inflation is going up. You need to find a way to make more money so that your money is being accrued faster than inflation, and then you invest it. You invest it into different things, REITs. There's so many different things that you can invest the money into, but first you have to make the money. And the best thing you can do, I agree, and I believe the best thing you can do to make money efficiently in this generation going forward, in this time going forward, is books, creating assets and then creating books. So you want to be able to, just like I'm doing right now, talking, literally having discussions with you and letting you know the value, and then we get into assets, books, and all these other things. So again, this is all about, is money evil? So you can let me know in the comments, let me know what you think, share the live out, share it to 3 people, and comment done when you are done. Let me know what you think below in the comment section. And there's something else I wanted to share with you, and this is the whole reason why is money evil, generating wealth, all these different things. Another thing I want to show you is this right here. So while that loads, this is something I learned from a millionaire one time when he was explaining, and I was like, this is so true. And this is why you need to learn how to create your own business, create your own products, create your own assets. Okay, so on the left side at the top, we have hard choices. This is where, some of us may find ourselves. We're facing so many hard choices. It's squiggly, it's crazy, it's challenging. But you know what the craziest thing is? After you go through all these hard choices and you continually go through the hard choices, changes. Hard choices at the end is the easy life. So what do we have? We have hard choices, we have an easy life. Here's the danger. On the flip side, you have easy choices in the beginning, it's a little challenging, and then you have hard life at the end. Now, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to have hard choices in the beginning, an easy life in the end, so you can live the rest of your days in wealth and success and freedom? Or would you choose easy choices and hard life? Well, let me explain it to you. The way how I see life is this. Your hard choices in the beginning is choosing to start a business, even if you have a job, or even just running a business by itself without a job. Choices are yours. Again, we all have choices that we can make in life, just like hands that you can play in a game. But starting a business may be hard in the beginning. Ice Cube even said, if you're not willing to put in at least 5 years of grind into a dream, into a goal without making a dime, then don't start. Because that's how long it may take to get over this hump, get over these challenges, get over these situations to get to your easier life. But the easy choice is just working a job. The easy choice is just doing something that's simple, that's quick, that's fun, that's easy to make the money right now. Make the money right now, but you're not thinking about the hard life that could first. You see, Melanites Comics said it best, hard first. Hard first is where we really should be. And this is where it's getting crazy, but it's so true. People are afraid of going through hard life. They're afraid of going through hard decisions. They want things easier. It's why when people like Melanites, people like Super X33 put in their heart, their soul, their life, their passion, both visuals into their dreams and their goals to make their content, make their art, right? And then another company who doesn't want to put in any work tries to use technology, data laundering, all this other stuff to try and copy their swag, copy their style, and then try and sell it off. What they're doing is that they're commoditizing the art. They're making easy choices. And what the people who are using the thing don't realize is you're aiming for a hard life. When things are too easy, you have to start thinking about, wait a minute, if this is so simple, like what is the end result going to be? You have to think like chess. This is not a game of checkers in life. It's a game of chess. Think 5 moves ahead. What am I doing? And is this choice going to help or hinder or hurt me in the future? So that's what I'm telling you, kings and queens. This is the time. This is the time to make your decision. Choose wisely. Not even choose Wendy's. Choose wisely. All right. Like you literally have to decide, are you going to choose the easy way or the hard way? Making a business is hard. Making a funnel is hard. Going through setting up your own coaching program is hard. Finding an LMS is hard. Anyone that's done animation, I know we got some people that have animations or work on animation here. It's hard, right? It's hard, but at the end of the day, when it's done, it's amazing. I literally was looking through IG and someone had commented on a post I'd mentioned, and it was something I posted in the past where it said, when you walk with God and you're going with God, it's a marathon, but the devil, it's a sprint. Here's the key point. The devil will give you today what he's going to take tomorrow, but God, he'll make you go through a challenge, the hard choices, but at the end, when you have it forever. You have it forever. What Melanites literally said, hard times make hard minds. It's so true. The hard times make the hard minds. And the people who outlast the struggle, those are the people that deserve success. Those are the people who have earned their success. They put in their work. They've paid their dues. But people don't want to pay their dues. It's so strange how the people that are literally creating technology, not the people that are using it, not the people that have the skill and want to use it for their benefit. I find it so fascinating that the people that make their AI art are not the people, the companies. They're not artists. They don't talk about art. I also find it very fascinating that I think it was something Corridor. They tried to do AI animation and they basically ripped off a whole bunch of still images from Vampire Hunter D and then tried to make it. And they're trying to pass it off that they were basically reinventing anime. So imagine you worked mad hard back in the 80s, 90s, or whenever Vampire Hunter D came out. You put in all that time to do your animations, to do your walk cycles, to do your anticipation, to do your follow through, your solid drawings, all the curves, all the arcs, all the things that makes animation quality, context and subtext and lighting. There's so much in animation. It's so much. Shout out to all the animators. We respect you. If no one has told you, I respect you because I know what it's like to do animation. I had a client that asked for 2 of them. Oh my gosh. That was some of the hardest stuff I've ever done. But the long story short is this. They're passing it off like it's like they're God's gift to mankind when they're basically robbing someone of their style. It's better to just pay a professional. Pay someone like Melanites Comics to make your stories and write your stories. Pay Super X333 and Selflix to actually do your animation. Why is it better to do it the professional way? Marty Woodard was even talking about it. The people at the top of the top of the top of the game, because he worked at Mars. Mars is the company that owns, you know, I didn't even know they own Pedigree. Pedigree Imes. They own what is it? M&M's and all these other candy companies. So what he did is that he worked for Pedigree and he realized that the company has to pay those graphic designers tens of thousands of dollars to do the graphic design. Why? Because they get it done efficiently. If you make a mistake, and yeah, their fee is like 20,000 to 80,000 for the graphic designers, but here's the negative: if they were to do it themselves and pay someone for cheap, Fivers, outsourcing all this other stuff, people that don't really care about the end result, they just want to get paid. The end result can cost that company $10 million. So you have to start asking yourself, like, what is the cost analysis? Like, what am I gaining versus what am I losing? So I bring that all up, and I brought up the quote from that video with God versus the devil, sprint versus a marathon, to realize, what do you want out of life? Do you want the sprint where you're making money quick, the easy choice, and then the hard life that comes after is like copyright infringement, challenges, plagiarism, reputation being destroyed, because that's another thing. You can't buy reputation. You can't really, like, you can build a brand, but your reputation, your name is what you stand for. And if you're associated with a whole bunch of like craziness, people aren't going to respect you. That's why when Gavi had left, he was removed from Reach Records, or when Dante Bowie was removed from Maverick City Music, even Jonathan Majors, like, your choices will literally help or hinder your future. So again, I'm getting into all this to say that post, and I mentioned sprint between God and the devil, in terms of like fast versus slow. Like, what are you getting with your wealth? Someone had mentioned that the hare is always faster than the turtle, but the turtle always wins. So it may be hard, it may be challenging, it may be rough, but I challenge you to keep running your race. I challenge you to keep running after your destiny, running after your destiny, running after your destiny. Why? Because at the end of the day, you will make it, and it will be worth it. It will be worth it, and you will own it. You will own when you get there. You will own what you're doing. Why? Because you went through the problems, you went through the struggle, you went through the challenges. And you know what the best part about all of it is? It made you a better person. You transformed. And that's something that you can't buy, and that's something that you can't automate, and that's something that you can't actually steal. A visual library for an artist is one of the most profound things I've ever seen in my life, because it's when you've studied something for so long, you know how to draw it instinctually. You know how to draw it from your soul. That's something you can't buy. That's the power of actually transforming. And yeah, in the future, they may have technology we're going to inject it into people's mind. I mean, they literally have I think, hi-fi cluster, that manga, where they talked about loading hi-fi cluster. That's another topic. If you want to check that out, you can. Long story short, people may try and automate and try and commoditize skill, but skill is a God-given thing. It's something that you're born with. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, so when they're old, they won't depart. That training up to find the child's bend, that's their skill, that's their purpose, that's the thing that they've been made for. The Melanites comics literally said, shortcuts draw blood, long way draw sweat. I'm telling you, you have to put in the work. Perfect example. How long does it take to become 21 years old? 21 years. How long does it take to actually have a seed become a tree? It takes time. Weeks, months, years. How long does it take for the caterpillar to become the butterfly? Days, weeks, months. It's going to take time. Don't be afraid. Don't just rush the process. Trust the process. They've said that if the caterpillar were to emerge out of the chrysalis before its time, it's not going to be able to stand. It's not going to be strong. It's not going to be able to handle the challenges. So I challenge you, go through the hard choices, get the easier life. People don't talk about this often enough. This is called the easy, hard principle. The second thing is the law of reciprocity. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. So when you invest into paying someone, and you love to pay people, here's a key thing: people love to pay you. If you don't love to pay people, people won't love to pay you. Now, why does that even matter? Why am I even talking about this? If you're so cheap that you won't pay an actual professional to do their work, but you'll actually steal their work through AI prompting and all this other stuff, and then release it, right, and try and have other people buy it, people are going to want to support you. Yes, you may have made 5 or 10,000 or 20,000. You may make some money now, but long term, you're not going to get the sales conversions that you want. You're not. It's just how life works. Why do you think so many millionaires and billionaires have all of these charitable foundations? They have all these other organizations that they donate to, that they support. Why? Because all the millionaire people, even if they don't believe the Bible, they know one thing is true. There's something called the law of reciprocity. You see someone homeless on the street, you help them, you bless them, you give them food, give them clothes, a hot meal, you take care of them. You see a child, like one time, for example, I was walking in a mall. I was with my best friend, Deshawn, and out of nowhere, a child pushes a cart mad hard and is about to run over these old people. I was thinking about tax breaks as well. Super X333 mentioned it. Tax breaks can be one, but there's also the benefit of the law of reciprocity. So the kid pushed the cart. The cart was going to hit these old people. I jumped in the way and blocked it. I didn't ask them for it. I just wanted to help, and that's how you sustain blessings. That's how you gain blessings in your life. Not even just trying to just go out and just get people to pay you, but just actually doing good. Not that good works is the only thing, but you want to be able to bless people. Like my goal is to get Great Gale to the point, not that paid with Nicole FX 11. Thank you so much for joining. My goal is not just to have Bold Saga blow up and Great Gale blow up. My goal is for Great Gale to get so big that we can support other people's livelihood, so we can support other families, so we can help other families have a livelihood, so that we can help them. That's the goal. That should be the bigger goal. Too many times our dream is so focused just on us that only we can do it, and then we don't grow, we don't stretch, we don't evolve. But if our dream is bigger, if our goals are bigger, if we believe and we actually think that we can go from be to do to have, it's possible. But I challenge you, kings and queens, don't just have a dream just for you. Have a dream to help the community. Have a dream to help your family. Be a cycle breaker. Anlin Gates had even talked about it. The cycle breaker, the Joseph anointing. Now, remember when I'd mentioned that the love of money is the root of all evil? Yes. Well, when Joseph became a slave, his brother sold him. It was for 20 pieces of silver. Imagine that wickedness. Your own family sell you out for 20 pieces of silver, but by the end, they thought that Joseph was going to kill them. Let me just skip through the entire story. But the reality is that when Joseph was, second, basically the Prince of Egypt, that's where the movie comes from. He was second in over the land. So, well, that's Moses, but he was second in the land. Joseph is king of dreams. When his brothers saw him and they were like, oh my gosh, are you going to kill us? We did sell you into slavery, all that wickedness. They thought that after the father died, he would exact vengeance on them. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, God sent me to prepare a way to help you. I challenge you to be a cycle breaker. I challenge you to gain money, gain wealth, so you can bless your family, bless your family's family. The Bible even says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. You can't do that by just trying to rip people off, because remember, we talked about the law of reciprocity. What you do is always going to come back to you. You bless others, people bless you. You pay others, other people pay you. So I challenge you. I challenge you to make more money so you can invest into other people, so you can bless other people so that they can bless you. And the goal is not just to spend money and make money. The goal should truly be to circulate. Remember, money is currency, current, C, motion. The goal should be to invest into other people and other people invest into you. Another thing that was very fascinating is when, this is crazy, but it's true. I can definitely see where it's coming from. Russell Brunson said that if you don't have subscription platform or monthly recurring revenue in your business, right, what happens is that you don't have a business. And I was annoyed at first, and I'm like, it's very true, because if you have a way that people can continuously pay you over and over and over and over and over again, you win. That's why Netflix, that's why Amazon. There's literally books about subscription economy, automatic customers. Like, I challenge you, if you have challenges, if you want to make more money, more wealth, find a way to create subscription platforms. I mean, we have one, it's Bold Saga Beyond. Selflix has Selflix TV. I challenge you to think about that. I challenge you to think about that, because it's one thing to grind and hustle and work. I got to get the money, this, that, and the third, and be premium value. But it's another thing to have a system in place for continuity offer. FCO is even better, but a continuity offer. You need to be thinking about, how can I provide value so people can pay me money, and then the cycle continues. The beat goes on. That's what we got to be doing. Too many mangaka, too many authors and creators, we're too focused on just, how can I just make a little bit of money by charging people as little as possible? Here's a fun fact. If you're using and just trying to prompt, it's not for everyone, but if you're prompting, you generally may not be thinking about the bigger picture mentality, business mind that will be able to showcase that art. And another thing, premium value thinking. Now, if you prompted your work, right, are you really going to be charging premium prices? No. You're probably going to be charging bottom prices. And it's a race to the bottom. And it's so true. Here's a fun fact. If you're not going to pay a professional that can write that can draw, that can take photos, that can do all of your contents. The reality is this: you are thinking cheap, and the cheapest is never the best, and the best is never the cheapest. Lock in and listen to this, kings and queens. The cheapest is never the best, and the best is never the cheapest. So I'm telling you, I challenge you to be premium value, because this is where it literally gets to. There's this meme. I saw this meme earlier today. I just had to bring it up. I just had to, because it's so true. Melonite's Comics said 100 customers in a year can be good if you provide enough products in a year. Lock John, Lemon Peel, thank you so much for joining. This is where I see life is right now. Like, even Jim Rohn said it. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Again, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. You got the mean people on the left. No, life shouldn't be hard. Make it easier, please. You got the mean people on the right. Why should anything be hard? Why can't we just get everything we want? And then you got the meme frog in the armor saying, ask not for a lighter burden, but for broader shoulders. I'm telling you, kings and queens, I'm telling you, this is where we need to be. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. How many movies have we watched? How many animes have we seen where the heroes have to go through the challenge and then transform? When Deku, in the beginning of My Hero Academia, he wasn't strong enough to hold on to the power. So what did he do? He didn't ask for All Might to make it the power weaker so he could do it. He rose to the occasion. He didn't just sink, all right? He didn't just sink. I challenge you not to just sink to the challenges and the issues in your way. I challenge you to rise to the occasion, rise to the next level, because that's how you win. That's how you get to the next level. Baba Mean, thank you so much, Baba Mean. Check him out. Check him out. That's Uhuru Academy. Baba Mean said, peace, black man teach. Money is not evil, but too many people are. Hashtag BOLDSAGA. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's so true. It's really true. Like, money is not evil. Like, if you want to bless people and be able to support them, you have to have money. Like, I remember it was Dr. Eric Thomas said, when you're at the gas pump, you can pray to God, but you're gonna need to pay money to get that actual gas in the car. And then when you're going through like issues and generational curses and other type of spiritual things you're fighting, you're not gonna be able to pay to get rid of that. This kind does not go out except by fasting and prayer. Like, you need to contextualize and use things in the right timing, the right energy, the right place. So I'm super excited about this, because I want to do more talks and discussions about money, more talks and discussions about how to generate more money with our assets. And a funny thing, it's so true. I used to think that if I provided more things, because 100 customers in a year can be good enough if you provide enough products in a year. That is true. That is very true. But I find that, should I tell you? Yes. Don't just sell the thing. Sell the thing that sells the thing. Don't just sell the thing. Sell the thing that sells the thing. What do I mean by that? Anyone can say that they can draw. Anyone can make a book if they put in enough work, but who can teach it? See, if you can teach it, you can master it. I remember, I think it was Mr. Vin. He was mentioning that there's different levels of your ability to recall. Because here's a funny fact. You never really forget anything. What happens is that your mind puts value on what's the most important thing. So forgetfulness is not a sign of ignorance. It's a sign of focus. Whatever you're focused on in your environment that you truly need to survive, that you truly need to focus on, which is why your mind will bring up things and like, oh my gosh, why did I even bring that up? That's just how the mind is. So why did I mention that? He mentioned that if you talk about an idea, you remember like 5%, you read a book, you talk about it, as you discuss it, you get to, I think, 45, 50. But here's the part that fascinated me. He said when you teach it, you retain 95%. Once you learn something and then teach it, that's what is African proverb. Those who learn teach. I challenge you to teach. Once you master your skill, once you master your skill set, get to the point where you start teaching. That's why I literally came off of week 4 of self-publishing goldmine, because I want to challenge kings and queens and teach them how to make their own books cover to cover. It's why I made 7 steps to creating a dream manga series, because too many times there's books in behind me. There's a whole bunch of how to draw manga books. They're only showing you the lowest level of value, how you can work with your hands, how you can draw and get the skill. While that's important, while that's part of the process, I challenge you to think of the bigger picture. Do you have a marketing strategy in mind? Do you know how to actually pitch your product? Do you know what a log line is? Like, do you actually have systems in place? Do you know what automation is? Like, the bigger picture, like the things that can actually help you generate wealth. Like, do you have a follow-up funnel? These are the things that we need to be talking about, kings and queens, because too many times people talk about just drawing, making their manga, this and the third, being the next Eiichiro Oda, the next Tite Kubo, the next Masashi Kishimoto, the next Tezuka. I don't care about that. I want to be the first me. That's what I challenge everyone to do. I challenge everyone to be the first them. Literally, literally. And then we got this one. Baba Mean said, and you can definitely teach it. I have proof. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What he's mentioning is I've been at the Hoover Academy, and I actually was discussing and talking with the young kings and queens there about self-publishing. So yeah, when I talk about this, it's not like I'm just talking just to talk. This is like real life that I've actually done this. And I will actually continue to do this. One of the reasons I see a lot of creators fall. Yeah, exactly. A lot of dropping gold right now. Thank you, kings and queens. Literally, that's why I call it self-publishing gold mine, because we need to get to the goal. Too many people are focused on the goal, right? The objective, but they're not focused on the goal. They're just putting out a lot of content, but they're not putting out quality content. See, that's the thing. If you have quality with quantity, you win. If you only have quality but no quantity, you lose. If you only have the other way, where you're just providing super, super high quality things, but you don't have it in enough abundance, you lose. So the challenge, kings and queens, Melanized Comics says, is because of no business practice. Exactly. We need to have more business mindset, business savvy, and that's how you win. So I'm an entrepreneur. If you don't know, I'm the CEO of Great Gale. I'm the mangaka of BOLDSAGA, and I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing it for basically 13 years. I put all this into a book, which is 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream Manga series, because I want to help people win. A lot of people talk about how to draw manga, but they don't show you how to actually sell manga. That is I literally Google this stuff sometimes. I'll be like, how do you sell manga? To see what's on Amazon. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what they have. It's nothing. It's not, it's crickets. Why? Why though? Because the system is set up in a way that you're just working from publisher to publisher to publisher. You're working for Shonen Jump, Viz, Kodansha, all these other companies who are taking all of your profits and then giving you a piece of the pie. I was speaking to one of the legends in the game, Black Sands, and I was saying, yeah, man, because I was basically talking about like all these people I look up to, like Oda and all these other people. He immediately said, those people don't impress me. How is it that these people have multi-billion-dollar intellectual properties and they're not billionaires? One piece is worth 20.85, I believe, $billion. The creator is worth 400 million. Naruto is worth $10 billion. I think the creator of Naruto is worth 100 million or even 20. Some crazy number. So what is that telling you? The reality is this. Melanized Comics said it perfectly well. People run from business. And it's so crazy because people run from the exact same thing that is necessary to take them to the next level. You're not going to be able to just talk and just grind and hustle to the next level. You need to systemize. You need to automate. You need to delegate. And you need to resonate. Automate, designate. You need to automate, resonate, dedicate. You really need to get into that. Delegate is what I'm getting to. So you have to automate. You have to find systems that work with you. So you're not just doing all the work by yourself. You have to delegate and find people that actually you can pay, which is why you need to make more money so you can support and pay them for their systems. And then you need to resonate. If your story doesn't resonate, no one's going to care. No one's going to actually feel anything. See, there's a lot of soulless content out there. I still can't believe people look up to Kagurabachi. It's literally just another type of demon slayer, type of demon story, type of, oh my god. Like it's nothing new. And the hype, when they did the analysis, they said that Kagurabachi and some other manga, even though the hype is big, it's at the bottom, literally the bottom of the TOC, which is a table of contents, which is a measure of the quality and the actual need and the actual supply and demand of a story. So what does that tell you? Just because something is popping, just because something has hype, does not mean it has substance. Super X333 says the Japanese government funds these projects so they can the biggest piece of the pie. Exactly. And you're right about that. You're right. Even I've heard other creators talk about that, like Juaso. Like these companies are government subsidized, which is why when people look up to these manga creators and be like, I want to be like the next this person, I want to be like the next that person. You have to start thinking like, how can I be the best version of me? How can I learn from them to win? Because the reality is this: you are you. You are one of one. Don't try and be the next them. Be you. Why? Because you can't be them. It's not natural. You will never be able to do 100% complete copy of someone else. We are all unique in our fingerprints, in our thoughts, in our mindset, in the way we talk, in the way we actually discuss, in the way we communicate. We are all unique. We all have something. What I love about the creator, which is God, like he gave each of us our own piece of creativity that's just us. So I challenge us to get into whatever that creativity is, whatever that thing is, and master that. Be the best that. Even Wallow said it. Too many times we just want to be, I want to be the best this and this and this and this and this. Too many different things. Jack of all trades, master of none, but it's often better than a master of one. But the reality is that we're just too many directions. Too many directions. Focus on one thing and don't let go until you master it. I love when Jacob was literally wrestling with the angel. He said, I'm not letting go of you until you bless me. I'm not going to the left. I'm not going to the right. I'm focused. When I'm focused, I'm fire. Dr. Darius Daniel said it best. Focus is a superpower of the successful. Again, focus is a superpower of the successful. So I challenge you, kings and queens. I challenge you. Get your focus. Take your focus back. You know, if you're really in the zone, if you're really in your trading rhythm and you're at the high point, put your devices in do not disturb mode. Put things on vibrate. Take your time back. Don't let social media distract you from your destiny. I remember there was even this prophet that talked about it. Destroyed by distractions. Like literally tie people to horses and have the horses run in different directions. That's what distractions do to you. They steal your time. You can never get time back. So I challenge you, if you have to buy an asset and it costs money, make the investment because you can never get the time back. There are so many assets I've had to buy over the last 5 years on this journey to get self-publishing done. Even perfect example, Clip Studio Paint, the professional version. At first, I was being cheap 5 years ago. I didn't want to do it, but then I thought about it. I'm like, if I have to do all these calculations for the lines, the gutters, all this other stuff, I'm going to lose time. Time I can never get back. I'll pay these people their price because I know they're professional. I've done the trial. I've seen this thing works. And guess what? Because of that, I have 10 plus books. So it just goes to show, find the assets, find the tools, find the people, find the communities that you need to be in. Like one of the communities I see that's good to be in is Traffic, Sales, and Profit by Lamar Tyler. Traffic, Sales, and Profit. I'm going to make a list. I talked about this with creators before. I'm going to make a list of Facebook groups that I see value in because there's hundreds, there's thousands of them, but tens of thousands actually. But I'm telling you, be in a community that challenges you, that encourages you to win. Be in a place where you can see and get to the next level. So super excited that you're here. We're talking about, is money evil? It's not. Everyone that's been in here has got to that point that realizes it. Money isn't evil. What is evil is people's desires, people's mentalities, people's ideas that, you know what, I don't want to pay this person. I want to be cheap. I want to see how I can just not pay them and not invest into them and just try and do it all myself. I'm telling you, kings and queens, if you try and do everything yourself, you're going to lose in the longer big picture. Like you can do things by yourself up to a certain point, and then you need to delegate. I love that they talk about that in Dr. Benjamin Hardy's 10x is better than 2x. You find a way to get to that mastery, then you find a way to get to the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. Perfect example of what I'm talking about with why you need to master, why you need to elevate, why you need to get to the next level. The next Kung Fu Panda, I'm not going to ruin it, but one thing that they mentioned is that Poe's master, I forget the little chinchilla thing, I forgot the name, but he basically said you're ascending to the next level. So what does that mean? Poe was 20% because Poe was 80%, 20%. 20% was a Kung Fu. He became the Dragon Master. Now his new 20% is now his 80%. Poe's master is telling him, guess what? Now you got to go to spiritual master. So now Poe must leave the comfortable, which is the Dragon Warrior, and go to the next level, which is spiritual master. If you want to get to the next level and transform your wealth, transform your bank account, transform your money, you need to be thinking of elevating. You need to be thinking of rising to the next level in what you speak and what you do and what you provide. It's not about just charging someone a lot of money. What are they getting in return? Last thing I'll tell you, kings and queens, you need to stack. You need to stack. You need to stack. You don't just sell a manga, sell an experience. Sell an experience. The next time I have a Kickstarter campaign, I'm going to have actual experiences in there. And that's the thing that people would love to buy. Like, I've loved seeing entrepreneurs when they talk about VIP days, where you just sit down and strategize and talk. Because one conversation at the right time can unlock an idea, a strategy, a system, a mindset that could change the rest of your life. That's why in Think and Grow Rich, they call those masterminds. Those can be discussions. Those can be VIP days. Like, you need community. You need to talk. You need to discuss things because at the end of the day, that's where greatness is formed. Greatness is formed by you actually believing in yourself and going out and doing it, as well as discussing with other people. There have been so many great ideas that have happened in Bold Saga because I talk with my wife. So what am I talking about when I say a stack? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. If you want to see an example of a stack done perfectly well, done masterfully well, just go to that, greatgale.com/steps. Again, greatgale.com/steps. What I want you to do is go there, type it in, click the link, and then visit it. That is our funnel. and that goes through our stack. And the reason why I want you to see that is that to show that we're not just talking, we're actually doing. Now, why does the stack matter? Why? What am I even talking about? Have you ever gone to the bread aisle before in your life? Have you ever gone to the bread aisle? Have you ever actually gone to the bread aisle and seen how much bread is there? Talking is part of the manifest. Exactly. First the idea, then the talk, then the reality. The action follows it. It all is all part of the process. So if you've ever gone to the bread aisle in your life, you've noticed that there's multiple bread. What does that tell you? Bread can be just like a book, right? Whether you're making a manga or anime, there's so many different things that are out there, right? That's level one providing a value. That's commodity. So what that basically means, you can make your book, but there's other people that make books. You can make your bread, but there's other people that make bread. What can you do to stand out and make more money? Well, you offer an asset. In other words, you offer an offer. You provide an offer. So what is an offer? An offer is providing your target audience high quality value, and they're getting it at an amazing price, and they're getting much more than they even bargained for. So instead of just selling bread, I know that the Black Bread Company, they have these different assets where they have the bread and they can ship to you, or you can do it artisanally and all these other things. And if you're an author like what I have, I'll even show you the page to make it much easier so you can just see for yourself exactly what I'm talking about. So this is an example of basically creating an offer. So let me just hide that for now. Let's do this, present. Here we go. Just waiting for it to load. Okay, so let me know if you can see that on your end. What this is this is a funnel, all right? And I challenge you to get into getting funnels. I challenge you into creating funnels. No, you don't only have to use ClickFunnels, but I highly recommend checking them out. There are many companies out there. Okay, what is an offer? So I'm literally telling you, you get 7 steps to creating a dream manga series, and you get 7 bonuses worth over $1,000. Now, I could just tell you, you can just buy the book from me and it's listed on Shopify or some other place. That's an option. You could do that, or you could provide someone more value. So what does that mean? If the book is worth $47, that's what you're paying. The price for for getting the book, you pay $47, but you get $1,000 worth of value. Who is getting a better deal, me or you? You are. And that's the thing. When you think as a business owner and as a creative and as a marketer, you have to find ways to provide more value. In other words, what can I provide that shows the audience I truly care about them? Not just buy my book and, leave a review, but how can I help change your life? How can I make your life better? How can I think of solutions to your problems? That's the thing. That's why we create books. That's why we create solutions. That's why we create to solve other people's problems and get paid. That's the definition of an entrepreneur, kings and queens. You need to think of better options. What can you provide in addition to your actual asset? So here we go. We got the sticky video right here. So I'll turn this off for now. And this is part of the bundle. So here's what you get. You get the 7 steps book, and then you get the RBN framework. How to Win with Manga mini course, manga gear secrets and strategies, mangaka starter pack, asset hacks, I am affirmations guide, new defeating discouragement framework. All of this is literally worth $1,227, but you only have to pay $47. Now again, ask, who is getting a better deal, me or you? Because if I have $1, you have $1, and we exchange, there's no real value exchange. It's the same thing. But if I have $10 and you have $1, and I say, if you give me $1, I'll give you 10. All right, what does that mean? Yeah, of course. It's such a good deal. How could you say no? You give me $1, I'll give you 10. That's the power of providing value. That's the power of providing value, kings and queens. This is what offers do. It triggers in the person's mind to realize, wait a minute, I'm getting a really good deal for 47. If I had to pay for these things on their own, I mean, like, that's a lot of money. Do I really want to spend 1,000 right now? Like, I could get $1,000 worth of value assets for just literally 47. And that's how you stand out. See, Shonen Jump is not going to tell you this. A lot of other companies are going to tell you. The Saturday AM, anyone else. Black Sands, I don't know if they do funnels. I've never seen them talk about funnels. They more talk about websites and Shopify. Many companies won't talk about this. We talk about it in the 7 Steps to Creating a Dream Manga series because we want to give you the advantage. We don't just want to talk about you can make more money. How about I show you? This is a funnel. We've got the copy. We've got the solutions. There's the manga version of me. We're giving you all of the reasons that is actually explaining the logic of what you're getting, transforming your business to live your best life, all these different things. And then get your copy today. Yes, send me a copy today, just $47 plus shipping and handling. And then we've got another aspect to the funnel, the actual social proof. So before you get into just talking about all these other things, make small versions of your products. Make 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the first amount and then get people talking about it. Get the reviews. Someone left a review on 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream Manga series. They said, the only resource you need to create your dream manga. This book exceeded my expectations in every way. It covers general creativity, simple techniques for how to draw your story, tips for writing a better story, marketing, and more. It is written in easily digestible and actionable language to help you craft your manga story from start to finish. I highly recommend it. I'm telling you. All these reviews are from BOLDSAGA, right? And these reviews from BOLDSAGA are possible because of what we talk about in 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream Manga series. That first review, though, that is from 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream Manga series. Here's the places that we've been in to show that we're not just talking about success. We've actually been to places. Shout out Atlanta, Virtuous Con, Denise Newsom Show, ABS, Voice of the People. We were just there in Antigua just a couple of weeks ago. Blurred over at Afro Comic Con. And then we end it literally telling you, this is how much it would cost you to learn what's in the book if you did one-on-one coaching with me, or you could just pay me $47. So if you didn't understand it, 8 hours of coaching to go over everything in this book is over $48K. Or you could just pay $47 and learn. So the choice is yours. I'm not gonna literally fight and try and tell you and say you have to get it, you have to get it, you have to get it. Look, I made an offer, I showed you the offer, this offer is so good, you feel foolish if you don't get it, but the choice is yours. I respect your right. You're an adult. And that's how offers work. That is strategy, and that is systems, and that is how you need to position yourself going forward. Because if you want to truly make more money, it's not just a talking thing. It's not just a grind thing. It's a positioning thing, all right? There's a reason why a Rolls Royce is the cost of a Rolls Royce, and there's a reason why a Honda is the cost of a Honda. It's the amount of value that's provided. Look at the Tesla model. Look at the Tesla model. Look at the Tesla model, not the car, the strategy. Started with the most expensive car first and then went down to the more sedan, the more basic amount to allow other people to get in. What does that allow you to do? Fear of missing out. It allows you to stand out. It allows you to provide premium value prices. And the best part is when you're expensive and then you go down, people won't feel slighted. Like, why are you so expensive? You were always expensive. A lot of mangakas, and when we start out with our books, we start from low and we go higher, higher, higher. While that can work, a person that's at the bottom and they've been working with you for so long at the lowest level, do they want to go higher? It's a positioning thing. I challenge you. Think about your positioning. Are you premium value, right? Or are you standard value? Because at the end of the day, the cheapest can never be the best, and the best is never the cheapest. So you have to stand on something. You have to stand on a principle of what you provide and then start and then go there, because that is a way to wealth, premium value. There's also the Waltrepreneur method where you're doing Sam Walton, you charge a specific amount. There's different ways, but you have to be certain. You have to be dedicated to what it is that you're focused on and then go after that with everything you got, because life is too short to live a lie. Life is too short to only live a job and then work all your time in the job and let life pass you by. Life is too short, kings and queens. I had 4 people passed away in my family this year. Like, this is life, okay? Life is going to keep lifing, all right? You don't have forever. Life is a game where you can't see the time on the clock. So I challenge you. Don't just try and settle for ordinary. I challenge you. I dare you to step into extraordinary. I dare you to step into greatness. Melanized Comics says, talking is part of manifesting. Super 333 said, keyword, bundling products. They use them in the music industry as well. Exactly. You need to start bundling. You need to start providing offers. Provide more value than your competition. Melanized Comics said, if this was an option 6 years ago, I know I needed this and would have saved so much money. Fail. This is a good deal. Exactly, kings and queens. Exactly. So that's the benefit. I challenge you to go out and find your own systems. ClickFunnels isn't the only one. There's other funnel software out there. Check it out. But I don't recommend System.io. But check out the others, because again, you have to start thinking like a business owner. You have to start thinking of, how can I create an offer? And if you've ever gone through a funnel, you know how that stuff works. And if you don't know, it's basically provide the initial offer. You literally show people, they can see the amount, they can see all the benefits, and then at the end of it, they can choose to upgrade and upgrade throughout the process. It's a journey. The hero's journey happens in stories. Well, the customer journey happens in a funnel. So that's the benefit. If you were to take someone through a website, you'd have to have them go from the first page, then you have to click, and then they get lost in analysis paralysis. In other words, the paradox of choice. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this is why websites don't transform to the point where you get someone to come in as a prospect and then come out as a consumer. That's the problem. The problem is that websites can be very confusing. There's so many pages, there's so many buttons, there's so many things to do. And the reality is that you lose people. You lose them. You could get Hotjar if you want to and check where they're clicking and all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, a benefit of a funnel is that there's no real buttons to click, all right? It's just, do you want this? Yes or no? Sweet. Next page. Do you want this? Yes or no? Sweet. Next page. Do you want this? Yes or no? So what happens is you decrease the amount of choices the person has to make so they can critically analyze what's on the page and say, yes, I do. No, I don't. That's the power of a funnel. This is the power of thinking like a business owner. A lot of people say, get this book. Go on our website, see our 500 other products, and then they wonder. And I've had the same challenge as well. I'm like, why is it that I have 100 plus products, but I don't see 100 plus orders? Like, I know my stuff is good. Another thing you have to work on is consistency. How much times are you showing up for people? Because I think it was Theodore Roosevelt said it best. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. See, when people know that you care, when they know, like, and trust you, then they'll support you. All right? You can't prompt that. You can't prompt someone to buy from you, all right? That's how life works. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how quickly you can make the art. Do you have the servant's heart? It doesn't matter how quickly you can make the art. Do you have a servant's heart? Like, literally. Again, I'll say it one more time. It doesn't matter how quickly you can make the art. Do you have a servant's heart? Do you have that mentality that I'm actually going to show up for people and provide value and help them? You know, help them and actually help them to live their dreams, help them with a challenge, even if they don't even work with me. Like, am I providing more value to them? Because at the end of the day, if people want to buy your product, business owners know this, it takes 7 to 9 times for someone to see your product before they're ready to buy. That's why Gary Vee has a book called Jab, 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 right hook. It's literally about that. You need to provide more value first. Founder talked about it, providing 7 to 8 posts before you actually put out your sales product. People want to show up on social media one time and want to get paid one time. People just want to make AI art one time and just want to get paid one time. I don't know where this mentality comes from, but I do. We live in a generation where people, they want things now. And I agree. You should be working on getting your systems in place and your work in place so you can get paid your worth, right? But, if you're doing it at the expense of actually building relationships, actually getting to know people, it's crazy. Brian Tracy even mentioned it. He said that going forward in the 21st century, all wealth is going to be connected to relationships. So relational capital is very important. This is why people build audiences. This is why people build communities. If you don't want to go to the traditional route of actually just working for a publisher and letting them take the majority of your sales while you have to still hustle and grind, if you want to do it on your own, you're going to need a community. You're going to need a super fan base. You're going to need people who love what you do. 1,000 true fans is what you need, kings and queens. That's the solution. Get yourself 1,000 true fans, people that really rock with you. And last thing, because we can go on for days about this, about is money evil? Here's solutions that can help you. Last thing, get an email list. Like, get an email list. Email your email list more often. That's something I'm guilty of. I need to do that more often. Because at the end of the day, if you're only focused on just making something great, if people don't know you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's why billionaires even talk about it. Even Omar El Zakori talked about it. Visibility beats ability. Like, if people can see you visibly and they can see like you're here on Facebook and then on YouTube and then Instagram and they keep seeing you, then guess what? By the time they're ready to buy, oh my, it's over. It's over. So that's what I challenge you to do. Because at the end of the day, generally speaking, most people that see your products, they are not ready. You're generally people that are prospects that go to customers, it's about 20% or less that are ready to buy right now. The other 80 are just thinking. You're just one person that they see. I literally was at an event this year. I'll give you a story of why visibility beats ability. I know I can draw, and I know I can draw just like everyone else in that area. Everyone else at that convention can draw. They have their stories, they have their products, they have their assets. We all are great at what we do. That's why we're at the event as vendors. So a king comes over to my table. My wife is there. Thank you, king. I really appreciate it. More fire. Boom. So literally, my wife is there with me. And I'm speaking to the king. He walks over to my table and talk about Bold Saga. Bold Saga is an Afrofuturism manga empowering kings and queens to seize greatness. We're going through the entire story. You know, Masego is a meek teen, unashamed to follow his dream to become the next Anansi, like his role model Shaka Zulu. But first, he got to overcome tests and trials and a rite of passage that leads to a supernatural encounter where he finds out what it truly means to be bold. In other words, brave onwards, limit destroyer. Showing him the books, he looked at me, and everything went silent. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And the man, from what I can tell from his accent and from his, melanin, he's either from the Caribbean or from the actual nations within Africa. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure. But I never did get to ask him. I should have. The long story short is he looked at me and he looked down at the books and it was silent. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Did I misconjugate something? I'm like, what did I do wrong? Is the character wrong? Don't tell me something like this exists. I'm going through my mind. I'm like, what could be all the mistakes that I made? I thought I delivered the pitch perfectly. And he told me something that shook me. And he was like, oh, man, I would have loved to buy your books, but I didn't see you. I just gave everyone else my money. You hear that? I'll say it again. He said, I would have loved to buy your books, but I couldn't. I gave everyone else my money. So that's why, from that point on, I was like, wow, it's true. Visibility beats ability. That's why you got to be on YouTube. You got to be on Instagram. You got to be on Facebook. You got to be on big platforms. TikTok is up there. Yes, there's other things out there. Find a platform that's natural to you and be on it. Be on it. You have to find a way to guide traffic. You have to find a way to get traffic to you. All right. It's not going to just land on your doorstep. It's not just going to come to you. There's a meme where there's a baby bird walking and it sees a worm on the floor. And the baby bird keeps opening its mouth, opening its mouth, opening its mouth. What do you think the worm did? You think the worm hopped in its mouth tall? You know what the worm did? The worm just kept going about his business. The worm not going to just die for the bird because it wants to. So that's life, all right? Just because you're in the proximity of the greatness doesn't mean it's just going to come to you. You must go to it. Watch any anime. Watch any story. It's really well written. Greatness is not something that lands and you just do it. Greatness is something you have to go out and actually touch. Go out and actually experience. Go out and actually strive towards and reach and attain and ascertain. Like, that's how it's done. So I'm telling you, again, kings and queens, thank you so much for everyone that's been here. We are talking about, is money evil? No, it isn't. And if you listen to this, you realize, no, it's not. And we just talked about a whole bunch of different assets that can help you gain money, gain more money, gain more wealth. We talked about funnels. We talked about offers. We talked about business. We talked about strategy. We talked about all these different things. Why? Because at the end of the day, if you don't understand the rules of the game, it's going to be used against you. And Einstein said it best. First, you learn the rules of the game, then you learn to play better than anyone else. Feel like you got the domino on this, bam! Just take it up and poof, slam it right on the table. I'm telling you. Super X333, so definitely got to get you on board now. Your marketing goes very deep. Thank you, King. It is one thing I love. I love marketing, which is the whole reason why I've structured and why when you see Bold Saga going forward, things are going to be very interesting. We are working on going to the next level because I realized that the value I provide is not just in the books, it's in the marketing. It's the whole reason why we sold hundreds of books and why we had a successful Kickstarter the first time. Not that I'm bad at art. I love art, but I know that in order to take the business to the next level, you need more marketing. And that's why we're working on a new system. I can't wait for you to see it when it's there. It's going to be amazing. It's literally going to be amazing. So thank you so much for everyone that was here. Thank you so much for everyone that stopped by. I really appreciate your time. And until next time, keep winning, kings and queens. Have a phenomenal night.